This is homework 105, quadratic equation word problems. This was definitely a hard lesson, so I'm giving you some tips on your homework. For number 1, create a table of values. Whether you use a graphing calculator, you create a table of values by hand. Then you can identify all the coordinates, plot those coordinates that satisfy this function, and then you will have your parabola. Make sure that you answer all parts of the question and determine the maximum height in addition to sketching the graph. For problem number 2, you can solve this equation using a graphing calculator. You might also do guess and check to see what values of t would make this equal to 0. Make sure you answer in complete sentences. For number 3, highest point, you should be thinking about the vertex for the highest point, and then you can identify the highest point of the dome. For number 4, I'd like to work through this problem in this video. So I am looking at a wall hanging that contains 2 small mirrors as shown. I need to write a polynomial that represents the area of the wall hanging. Area. Since this is a rectangle, right away I'm thinking area equals length times width. So in order to represent the area, I need to find the dimensions of the length and the width. So this diagram right here tells us that this length here is 2 inches. And this length right here, this little part, is 2 inches. And here in the middle, this is x. If I add those all up, then I have my length. My length equals this part here, 2, plus this part here, x, plus this 2 here. So my length is 2 plus 2 is 4 plus x. So my length, I'll just write it over here, is 4 plus x. My width is going to be these total values. So the width, I'll write it here, equals 2 plus 2x plus 4 plus 2x plus 2. I combine like terms. My width equals 4x plus 8. So a polynomial that represents this area would be my length times my width. Oops. Which is x plus 4 times 4x plus 8. The area of the wall hanging is 480 square inches. So now I am going to substitute that in for area. I am going to apply the distributive property to simplify this side. X times 4x is 4x squared. X times 8 is plus 8x. 4 times 4x is 16x. 4 times 8 is 32. Combine like terms. 8x plus 16x equals 24x plus 32. And I have this 480. I have to solve this quadratic equation. 4x squared plus 24x plus 32 equals 480. Well, I'm going to simplify this polynomial by dividing by 4. I'm reducing it. So now I have x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 480 divided by 4, 120. Okay, I'm going to solve this by subtracting 120 on both sides. 8 minus 120 equals negative 112. Now I have to think of what two numbers multiply to give me negative 112 and add up to 6. And I'm going to use a calculator. Let me try 4. Okay, 4 times 28. No, let's try 8. 8 and 14. Perfect. So x minus 8 times x plus 14 equals 0. So that means x equals 8 or x equals negative 14. Now, the width of something cannot be a negative number, so that means x equals 8. Now that I have x equals 8, I substitute it in here to find the length and the widths of the mirrors. You didn't have enough space for this problem, I'm sorry. So here, this value is 8, and 2 times 8 is 16 inches. What a complex problem. You should have gotten a lot of space. See you tomorrow.